Hello everyone and welcome to a new IBMI sample video. Today I would like to show you some examples of how to make different joins between two or more tables. Let's go. Okay, today we are going to work with our friend Run SQL Scripts. But of course we can do these queries in our programs using embedded SQL. I have prepared some tables with the following information. I have a table with video games here. As you can see, with all this data, I have a name for every game, a type, a developer ID, a distributor ID, designer ID, okay, and the primary key for the table is the ID, okay. These three last columns correspond to the identifier of the developers, designers, and distributor tables. As you can see, they are created in this way. And also I have added information to all the tables. As you can see, I have for developers, distributors, designers, and finally I have inserted these 4 games into the games tables. And as you can see, it is all in the system. I have this table, these games, these distributors, designers, and developers. Okay, we are going to do a series of examples of how to obtain the information we need. I hope it's useful. First example, let's create a new window here. Okay. How can we obtain video games and their developers? Okay, as you can see, if I want to retrieve the games, this is all the information that we have of the games, but I want to retrieve their developers, the name of the developers. So what I have to do is to make an inner join query that is the same as a join. Okay, I can do this ID, name, okay, of the game and name of the developer. As you can see, these two fields are the same, so I have to add a prefix to the fields to make it more easy to read. Okay, I'm gonna add a G for the game and a D for the developer, and also I'm going to change the name for this table, for this column to developer name, so it will be more easy to read. I'm going to retrieve this information from the table games G. This is the way I put the prefix for the table, and I'm going to make an inner join with developers D. Okay, and the field that is going to be used for join the two tables is developer ID. That is going to, it has to be the same as the D ID. Okay, so if I run this this query, as you see, I'm getting the 4 games with the developer name. It is working perfectly. Well, you can make the same query in this way. If you don't know, we don't need to write the join, only the tables this way. Where is equal to the ID. As you see, I'm not adding the inner join, and it is working in the same way. Okay, just a simple trick. Okay, this is how we obtain our Baidu games together with their developers. Perfect. Let's now get our Baidu games along with their designers. Okay, let's remove this. And if you remember, if I see my games, look at this. I have a game without designer, but I want to get the games with the designer name. Okay, how can I do it? Okay, it is the same as as before. The name, the name, it is the same, a D for the designer, as designer name, from games, G, join designers, D, on designer ID is equal to the ID. Okay, let's run the query. But what happened? We only had now 3 games in this this result. What happens to the one we are missing? Well, the one that is missing does not have a designer assigned. So how can we obtain the games even if they don't have a designer assigned? Well, for that we must use left join. The table on the left in our query would be the table of the games, and the table on the right will be the table of the designers. So we will do the following. Let me copy and let me do this. Left join, and let me run the query. We are getting now all the games, and in the designers column for the game that doesn't have, we are getting null. Okay, in the same way we can obtain all the designers and which games are assigned to using the same query, but using in this case right join. Okay, right join. Of course we can do it this way because we don't want to switch the tables, but we could switch them and use left join in the same way. Okay, let me run the query now, and as you can see, I'm getting now 3 games only because we have only 3 games assigned to designers, but we are getting all the designers. Okay, so I'm getting designer and the game that is assigned to this one that has no game, this other one the same, and these 2 are assigned to these 2 games. Okay, well, with these tables you can make many more examples, but as a final example I would like to show a full join. What's a full join? Well, let me do it with an example because it is more easy to understand. What I'm gonna do is to join all 4 tables to get information about all the games, developers, designers and distributors in only one table. So we are going to use full join throughout our SQL query this way. ID name as game name. Okay, now we are going to add the 1 name as designer name, the 2 name as developer name, and the 3 name as distributor name. Okay, and we are going to read this information, get this information from games G, full join designers D1 full join on G designer ID equal to D1 ID. Okay, I'm using full join between games and designers. Okay, using this field. Full join developers D2 on, so I'm going to remove this, on G developers ID is equal to D2 ID. Full join distributors D3 on G distributor developer ID distributor ID is equal to D3 ID. And let me run the query. Okay, and as you can see, we are getting all our games, but also the designers that has no game assigned, the developers that doesn't have a game assigned, and the distributor that doesn't have a game assigned. Okay, well, I hope this small example helps newbies to get started on how to join data from more than one table to make queries. I hope you liked this video. Please press like if so, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching.